What's going on, everybody? My name is Monatui, coach of the Tampa Bay Luxrays, and today I'm bringing you guys our PPL Division 1 Season 4 Week 1 match versus Schady, coach of the Bayern Mewnich. If you have not done so already, check out his channel in the description below. He is a great guy, a good friend of mine, very good battler as well. He is going to be a very formidable opponent that we have to go up against in our Week 1 match, breaking in our new teams, which is going to be a lot of fun. But for a quick rundown of my team, I do have an entire team builder dedicated to my team, but like I said, for a quick rundown, we have our Rash Tinted Lens Scarf Dion Mega. We have our Colberberry offensive bulky Mew with SD, Gunk Shot, Zen Headbutt, and Roost. We have our mixed defensive Stealth Rocking Pilot Swine. We have our physically offensive Life Orb Gun Tank. We have our specially offensive Sub Roost Mega Altaria, and we have our Assault Vest Thunderous. So that is my team. Looking at his team, he brought his Latias, Mega Pidgeot, Nidoqueen, Lucario, Sneasel, and Clefable. So I'm definitely a little bit afraid of that Clefable, but I'm mostly concerned about his Lucario as well as the Sneasel. And SD Sneasel could possibly 6-0 me after a Swords Dance like it OHKOs pretty much everything on my team bar Pilot Swine as well as the Mew with the Colberberry. Lucario also, if it's a setup, Lucario is going to be very threatening, can really break through my team. Priority E-Speed is going to hurt a lot if he gets up to +2, but regardless, we're going to try and not let that happen. We're just going to get into the game here. I determined that the best lead versus his team was my Yanmega, because I can U-turn out versus anything. I can possibly get a big hit off something if the matchup is favorable, but he's going to lead with his Clefable, which, like I said, I can U-turn out versus this thing. With the Tinted Lens boost, it will be doing a kind of decent amount of damage, not really, but more if it wasn't Tinted Lens, which is nice. And based off that damage I did to the Clefable, it definitely has some defensive investment. I'm not sure how much, because obviously I'm not investing in attack, but definitely has some defensive investment, so that's good to keep in mind. I'm going to switch out into my Pilot Swine because I can dodge a T-Wave, I can take the hit very, very well. I'm thinking this is unaware, so if my suspicions are confirmed, I'll be able to Toxic this thing, and he actually goes for the Wish, which really has me thinking that he's unaware. I was thinking he's going to be unaware anyway, because I have Dragon Dance Altaria to possibly deal with it, I have SD Terrakion that he doesn't want to deal with, so I was thinking he was going to be unaware anyway. The fact that he is Wish really kind of cements that into my mind, so just to confirm my suspicions, I am going to go for a Toxic here. I can take the Moonblast just fine, and I'm just going to land a Toxic on this Clefable, which is really nice, because if it is unaware, I will be able to put it on a timer, so we're going to see that in a second. He is going to get the Wish back, and he is going to take the Toxic damage, which is really nice, because now this Clefable, like I said, unless it has Heal Bell and Mono attacking Moonblast, which I don't think it would, because it couldn't touch my Fortress, then this thing is now permanently on a timer, which is great. So he's going to fire off another Moonblast as I send in my Mew, because I see this as a possible opportunity to want to set up. He's going to have no idea what I am, and he has to pick what he wants to send in order to deal with this. Because I am a setup Mew, I don't care about the unaware. Well, I don't care about the unaware because of the poison, and I have the Gunk Shot to 2 a KO anyway, so as you can see, he's going to switch out his Clefable, and he's going to go out into his Latias, possibly fearing, like, I'm not entirely sure, but like I said, Mew is a wild card, and he has to pick his dedicated switch into it until he figures me out. So I'm going to go for the SD, and then followed by the Roost. I was expecting to take a Draco Meteor, live it, and then Roost up the health, and then deal with this thing at -2, but I actually end up outspeeding it as he goes for the Draco Meteor afterwards, which means that he definitely has a lot of bulk on his Latias, not a lot of speed. He's on not max speed Mew even, so obviously bulky Latias. So he's going to go for the Draco Meteor. Unfortunately, gets a crit, which means that I will not be at as much HP as I wanted, but it's not too big of a deal as long as he doesn't have Banded Sneasel that can knock me out later on. But regardless, he's going to go for the Defog here, which is totally fine. I would like rocks up on the field, but they're not necessarily crucial, and I'm in a good spot anyway with my Mew. So here, I'm going to fire off a Gunk Shot because it's my hardest thing to hit the Latias. I don't have Sucker Punch or Knockoff, as he actually decides to send in his Clefable, which is great because I will be able to get an easy 2 KO off on this thing. As long as I hit my next Gunk Shot, I no longer have to deal with this Clefable this game, which is going to be absolutely great. So he's going to take the first Gunk Shot, take the Toxic damage, and I'm going to fire off another one, and I am able to connect, which means that one of the most annoying things to my team is gone very early on in the game, which is great. Clefable is always a threat. Schady knows how to use it, so I'm very glad that that thing is gone immediately. I was able to catch him off guard with this Mew enough. And he's going to send out his Sneasel, I do have the Colbur Berry. I can take this hit. He figured I was Colbur Berry because I didn't show leftovers and it was kind of obvious. But there's nothing really on his team that can kind of deal with this Mew at this point. Mega Pidgeot can't touch it, and I knock it out with +2 Zen Headbutt or Gunk Shot. There's really nothing that just gets a ton of damage off onto me. He obviously can't go Lucario, etc. So he just needed to get the damage off with Sneasel, which I'm totally fine with, because now he's going to try and revenge kill me with the Mega Pidgeot, but I know better. I know to preserve my Mew because he still has the Lucario alive that I can roost up versus the Latias, the Lucario, things like that. So here, I am just going to make the safe switch into my Assault Vest Thundurus, as he is just going to fire off the Hurricane. And as you're going to see here, I do take it, does about a quarter of my HP, and I do not get confused, which is really, really nice. He's going to set up a substitute in order to scout for what I go for here. He figures I'm Assault Vest at this point, so I don't have Thunder Wave or something like that. He had no reason to not sub. Just to scout. And because I went for Psychic here, predicting the Nidoqueen to want to come in, he's probably going to go out into his Latias because it can take a Thunderbolt, can take a Psychic, which I just revealed. So as you're going to see here, predicting that Latias, I am going to go right for the Dark Pulse, get some nice damage off onto it. But he does have the Colbur Berry as well, and his Dark Pulse is going to do absolutely nothing, confirming that he is a very bulky Latias. But regardless, this is totally fine. I do have a good switch into this thing. Well, not necessarily a good switch into this thing, but I'm going to go out into my Skuntank here. With the Clefable being gone, Skuntank is a little bit less useful, so I don't necessarily need it this game. And something else I want to explain here. As you can see, he went for the Draco Meteor. Now, I could have gone for Sucker Punch, predicting that, because I figure the odds are Shady's going to want to stay in, not risking a pursuit. But the thing is, if I go for Sucker Punch and I knock out this Latias, he then has a chance to come in with his Lucario and start setting up nasty plops, or particularly what I'm afraid of is he has the chance to start setting up Swords Dances, which is a big problem for me. So by letting my Skuntank die, I do not allow him that opportunity to set up. Even if he like hard switch into Lucario, he's taking about 35 to 40%. I'll hit him with another one. That'll also do like 35-40%, and then by that point, if he touches me, he dies to Aftermath, which is really nice. If he has like Earthquake or something that isn't a contact move, I can go out in a Yanmega, live a +2 E-Speed, and knock him out, which is really nice. So my best play overall was to make sure that Lucario did not come in, did not get a free setup. So I'm just going to go for the Crunch here. He predicts the Pursuit and stays in and goes for the Draco Meteor. I don't have Pursuit. He doesn't know that though. I go for the Crunch, but obviously it's not going to go off because he kills me with the Draco Meteor, which is also totally fine, because now I can go out into my Mew and heal it up, make it a better answer to the Lucario, which is really nice, can possibly deal with a lot of mons on his team later on anyway. So he's going to send out his Mega Pidgeot, as, like I said, I just go right for the Roost, get this thing back to a very nice amount of HP, which is cool because I can take a hit from Lucario, like I've said over and over again now. And here he expected me to pull a switch out into my Thundurus, being the dedicated Mega Pidgeot switch in, but I actually switch out into my Piloswine here because I don't necessarily need Piloswine this game. It would be nice, but I don't necessarily need it. I want to keep my Thundurus healthy. I didn't want him pulling a double like this. So I'm just going to go out into my Piloswine. Takes on the it took a hit from the Mega Pidgeot anyway. I can threaten it with the Ice Shard, possibly get up rocks, or just go for an Ice Shard. But regardless, this Nidoqueen is going to come in. It's going to set up rocks versus me as I break its Shuca Berry with the Earthquake. And look at this damage. This is an Earth Power from Nidoqueen. It does absolutely nothing, which is just wonderful. So I'm going to be able to get at my Stealth Rocks, and I can even take an Earth Power afterwards. So as you can see here, he's going to go for the next Earth Power, and that is not going to kill me. I'm going to fire off an Earthquake, and I'm actually going to score a crit on this Nidoqueen, which doesn't matter too much. Like, the Earthquake wouldn't have been able to knock it out, but I would have been able to pick it off with Ice Shard afterwards. So unless he decided to save that for whatever reason, we were fine. But regardless, he's going to send in his Lucario here. It's not an Air Balloon. I made sure to check, because that would have been terrible. And he's just going to knock me out with a Dark Pulse. Because this thing is special, it's a little bit easier for me to deal with, because I don't have to worry about E-Speed, which is really nice, or SD plus E-Speed. So here I can just go out into my Thundurus Incarnate. I thought he might go out into his Latias here, but it's fine if he does. So I'm just going to fire off a Thunderbolt, get some very nice damage off onto this Lucario, as he is unable to knock me out with the incoming Dark Pulse. As you can see, with the Assault Vest, I take that easily. He is Life Orb, and with the Assault Vest, I'm not even going to go down to this Vacuum Wave afterwards, and he is going to die to his own Life Orb, which is a little bit unfortunate, because I wanted that kill, but Lucario is going to go down, which is fine. It is a very big threat to my team regardless, and it is now gone. He is now going to send in his Mega Pidgeot, which At the range that it's at is in range to die by my Yanmega's Scarf Bug Buzz, so I'm totally fine with just staying in with my Thundurus. Don't want to let him get a sub up. Like I said, I'm fine with letting him knock me out. And now I can just go out into my Tinted Lens Yanmega and knock him out with the Bug Buzz, and then hopefully knock out the Latias on the following turn. So as you're going to see, I'm going to go for this Bug Buzz. Unless he has a lot of HP or Spadef investment, he's not going to live this. And as you can see, he does not live it, which is great. Mega Pidgeot is going to go down, and now all he has left is his Cordelia, the Latias. After Rock's damage, there's absolutely no way he will be able to survive this Bug Buzz, even if he is a very specially defensive set, and we are going to win this game 3-0 over the Bayern Mewnich, and that was a really good game. We were able to put some pressure on immediately. We got Rocks up relatively early on in the game. The Mew put in such nice work early on, threatening his team, being able to knock out the Clefable, forcing his Sneasel to go down in order to get damage off onto me. So I feel like I had the momentum pretty much the entire game, which is really nice. Like nothing was really useless, I guess, except for the Mega Altaria, which never hit the field. But Yanmega did what it was supposed to do, which was clean up late game. Mew did what it was supposed to do by catching him off guard and being able to break through his team, set up, and deal with a lot of mons on his team. Piloswine was just able to tank hits from everything. Like, you saw how well it took that Nidoqueen's Earth Power, which was awesome. Skuntank didn't really get to do much. It was pretty much just sacked off to the Latias, so that's totally fine. And then Thundurus just switched into Mega Pidgeot beautifully. So this team worked pretty much functionally perfect. I couldn't have asked this team to do any better, which was great. I'm very, especially seeing as how well that I was able to play this game, I'm very confident in my team building. I'm very glad that I was able to construct a team that was able to take on Schady as well as it did, but that's enough of that. Like I said, check out Shady's channel in the description below. He will be uploading his side of the match, and I'm very interested to see what he had to say about it. And I hope you guys are as well. But regardless, thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you're looking forward to next week, and until then, I'll see you.